Years ago, India was the scene of a serial murder case in India. The victims were all girls. Police soon. The school bus driver was brought under control, but within a few months, the murders were repeated, the same way as before. This time the police found out the bus driver had been wrongly accused, and when the driver was released from prison, he had a stain on his life. Finding a job became a problem. The old chief felt guilty and hired the man as a driver. This time he came to get the DNA of the killer, and compare it to these two cases. But unfortunately, the two DNAs don't match at all. Here, we have a witness at the police station. He happened to be there that night, saw the killer's face. It was a teenage boy. This was embarrassing for Mary, because Jack's suspicions were all correct. And soon, based on the eyewitnesses' descriptions, the boy's portrait was matched. The boy was then immediately sought. But then a psychiatrist came to him, saying that the boy was a patient of his, a colleague's patient, had serious violent tendencies, but after a long period of treatment, he was gradually getting better. But one day, the boy attacked the doctor with a dagger. Then he disappeared, and this time the boy appears in the hospital. He's got his eye on a girl. The next second, when the girl's mother comes out, the girl is long gone. The only evidence left at the scene, all that was left was the bag. Jack immediately started the tests, but the test results came back. It was a shock. There was DNA from 3 people. What the hell is going on here? Jack immediately took out the DNA that the old chief brought in for comparison. The DNA was consistent. The murderer from back then and the man behind the boy was the same person. The police immediately put together a list. The list of people who went to the hospital that day and pulled them out and used their DNA to compare. But none of them matched. The match was, this is the news. The boy had been arrested. Mary holds the photo in her hand and asks, "Why did you kill him?" But the boy said that's Satan. Satan told him to do it. When Mary heard this, she was confused. This man was not right in the head, but Jack found out anyway. When questioned, the boy always shook his head, and in his ears, he was wearing a hearing aid. Jack suspected that someone was jamming the signal. The boy, who was already mentally ill, was likely to might have taken the voice as a command from Satan. As long as the hearing aid is still in his ear, the boy will be manipulated for as long as the hearing aid is in his ear. They drove to the prison in a hurry, but they were too late. The boy had already committed suicide in prison. That night, Jack was talking about the case with the following people, but found a car parked in front of his house. Honda. Jack went to check it out, but the car was empty. But when he turned around,